All right. Cool. So, you know, it'd be cool is if this literally just doesn't work because didn't open up that thing. Do my hotkeys not work? This would be so sick. Hey, Famed Emperor, how's it going? Look at you. So quick to hop on. How have I been? I've been good. Busy. Playing Destiny. Doing other things. Hanging out with my wife. Doing things. Been fun. What is the problem here that's waiting for OBS? Well. Oh, you like that? Sheesh. All right, cool. Well. You see. This is, unfortunate, but it's okay. Are you ready? Are you ready, Famed Emperor? YouTube. TikTok. Everybody. So, welcome to the Lost Loot podcast. This is a Destiny podcast that I hope to do weekly. Right now, I feel like I'm going to be planning on doing it on Wednesday evenings, and we're going to get this content out into other areas throughout the rest of the week. I know there's going to be some other time-sensitive content in Destiny 2, like stuff that happens on the weekends, or the gunsmith rolls on their weapons that happen on Tuesday that only last for 24 hours. And if you care about those things, then you'll want to either join our Discord, or you'll want to follow TraviDead. That's me. You'll want to follow TraviDead on Twitter, or just here on YouTube. And I will post community posts whenever there are insane things that Zur has, or that the gunsmith has, or just stuff that's urgent that we don't have time to make videos for. So keep that in mind. Now, we've got a lot of stuff planned. Some of the stuff requires some friends and a conversation to happen, but they are not available tonight because after having some troubles getting some stuff started, also Destiny was weaseling people a bunch this evening, so I wasn't able to get into Destiny to get a nice screenshot of the postmaster, which I wanted to use for the thumbnail. So we had some delays. But anyways, we're here now, and we're ready now. So we're going to do what we can tonight without the friends, and then we have a couple conversation pieces that I hope to have with some of my friends tomorrow night, maybe. They don't even know this yet. They don't even know that I'm thinking of having to do this tomorrow night. So, yeah. Yes, this is a podcast, Bobby. We're going to be, right now, tonight, it's just me, but we'll have some friends on for the second half of what was originally going to be just a one piece tonight. Second half will be tomorrow. But here we are. It's Wednesday. The gunsmith, he didn't have anything sick today. So rip. So Sorry, this would go faster if my Stream Deck was working, but it's not. So I have to manually remember how I do this. Perfect. So the gunsmith doesn't have anything sick, but he did have a really cool Boudica yesterday. So hopefully if you were online yesterday, you picked it up, because I had Pugilist, it had Frenzy. It actually was really similar to this roll. This roll is nice too, with Fluted Barrel on it. But it's got Osmosis, which I don't think most people actually care about that. So unfortunate. 801 does have Radiant Light. So if you happen to be watching this right now, or somehow you see this before Thursday's reset, 801 has Radiant Light, so you should absolutely make sure you pick that one up. I mean, Shock and Dexterity too, but I mean, you should have that one. Nothing else new here to talk about. But this week, there is double loot in Nightfalls, so make sure you're playing Nightfalls. Even if you can't play Grandmasters, make sure that you are at least playing Masters. Masters actually also have another special bonus modifier that the Grandmasters don't get. And it cycles each day. It's a different one daily. And Thursday and Sunday are going to be the best days to farm Masters, in my opinion, because it's going to be the buff to Stasis and Arc abilities. So you're just going to be getting him so much. And especially if you've got a Storm Arc Titan build where you're throwing your grenades a bunch with Heart of Inmost Light, you're going to want to be playing those Nightfalls on Thursday, and you're going to want to be playing them on Sunday. Double loot. You're going to be going so fast. I don't even know if I'm going to be having that much time to do Grandmasters this week, because I'm going to be doing that on Thursday and Sunday. So hopefully you are too. Another change, another thing that happened this week is Bungie fixed in hotfix 6.2.0.7. Yesterday, they fixed an issue with, well, not an issue, they changed a thing. So they wanted to alleviate the need for deep sight modded weapons. And so they made this buff. I'll actually show you in game really quick. Oh, frick, of course. I was gone too long, so I have to fly back to the helm really quick. But in the star chart, there is an upgrade that you could do that would make it so that you would get double perks on the first weapon that you focus each week through the star chart. But instead of changing it, they added the benefit that that weapon will also be deep sight modded. So if you're looking to craft a weapon that you don't have yet, then you can do that as well. I'm gonna go up and show you here real quick since I just loaded into the helm. The thing that they mentioned though in this hotfix is that it doesn't adjust the text of it. So you'll see if you come over here, it's the double perk weapon spoils upgrade in the top row. It's the 5th one across. The first time you focus a Season of Plunder weapon each week, it'll roll with an additional selectable perk. Yes, it does that, but it also now gives you deep sight. It won't say it in game. So you just need to know that. Okay, you need to know that now, and you'll get that benefit. So let's go over some other fixes that are going to be happening soon. Okay, so Bungie helped just tweeted a little bit ago that the Gerfalcon's Gerfalcon's Hauberk Hunter Exotic, the new Hunter chest exotic that came out this season, they've identified an issue, the fix for the issue that it had, and that'll be coming out in mid-October. So hopefully next week. I hope next week. There's a really cool sword build that I saw Error make that I really want to make. That just sounds really fun, going invisible and slicing my sword and explosion projectiles coming out of it, going invisible again, and just doing that over and over again. Sounds really fun. That's my plan. Another thing that has been kind of a little hot topic this week in the Destiny community is they also fixed Eager Edge. I guess the Eager Edge perk, you could use it multiple times in a single activation, and they weren't intending that on this was you were able to do this with enhanced Eager Edge, really. And so Bungie fixed it, and then the community freaking exploded and was like, what the frick? Why does Bungie always patch the fun things before the really important things? And then a bunch of people complaining about how there's been a bunch of bugs in the duality dungeon for a season and a half now that can ruin solo flawless runs, and it's not fixed yet, but yet you fix this eager edge thing that is not important and was a fun thing. And so basically, well, they also tweeted out tonight that they have identified a potential fix for an issue where players would die after ringing the bell in the duality dungeon. This is targeted for the October 18th patch. Oh, dang it. And that means that this is probably the mid-October patch, which means I'm not going to get the Gerfalcon next week. I'm going to have to wait another week. But that's okay. It's okay. And I think that is it as far as updates from Bungie. There was a comment from DMG about the eager edge fix, but really it's nothing too crazy. People don't need to be freaking out about it or being babies about it. Everything's gonna be okay. All right. What else have I got for you? I'm gonna show you. So, in the spirit of Grandmaster Nightfalls being released this week, I guess I'll show you some little builds, little choices for you to choose when you're going into them. So I think I might show you this in Destiny Item Manager. This will be probably the easiest way and the fastest way for you. So here we go. We're in Destiny Item Manager. If you don't have this, you're crazy. Go to Destiny Item Manager and get set up here. So for my hunter, my plan is I'm probably going to be using Omni Oculus and Void most of the time. If I'm doing GMs, that is. If I'm doing GMs, I might be doing this. There's another build that I've got, a skip grenade build that I might choose, but this one is the super safest. Number one recommendation, make sure you are getting yourself to 100 resilience if you're playing PvE. It's literally, I've gotten to the point where it is so noticeable to me. Even if I have 90, I can feel it and it hurts and I hate it. So really, if unless you really like to just inflict a bonus artificial difficulty to yourself, make sure you have 100 resilience. Literally, I would, at all costs, it doesn't matter what else is on your build, at all costs, 100 resilience. Make sure you do it. In this build, nothing crazy. I've got some bomber mods on to have grenades up as well. I'm using Vanishing Step and Trapper's Ambush, of course, so I can go invisible and make my teammates invisible as much as possible. We only get a few fragments here. One of these is lying because it thinks that I can have 4, but I with these combos you can only have 3. So in this I've got finishers, make me invisible. That's Echo of Obscurity. We've got Echo of Persistence, where your invisibility lasts longer. And then we've got Echo of Undermining, minus 20 discipline, so that my grenades can also weaken. And that's also why I've got the bombers on there. I've got Reaping Wellmaker, I've got Elemental Ordnance, and I've got Bountiful Wells in order to make a bunch of wells there. And we've got Font of Might for my heavy weapon. This is mostly for this week's Nightfall. Maybe in the following weeks, I might be using like Le Monarch instead and be using an arc heavy weapon, because every other week except Glassway is Arc Singe or Arc Acute Burn officially. So you'll want to be using arc stuff most of the time there. And then of course I've got Arbalest on for breaking all of the elements and anti-barrier. The alternative to this for hunters that I've got is going to be this, where is it? Where are you? Yes, this Discipline Resilience skip grenade build. Whew, geez, sorry. My nose was itching there for a minute. The one change that I do here is we wouldn't be using the amped up artifact mod. We'd be taking that out and we'd be putting in the mod that gives your grenades overload We've got lightning strikes twice to be able to, when you throw your arc grenade, you keep getting more arc grenades. Shinobu's Vow, Shinobu's Vow, the bonus skip grenade and bonus skip grenade energy. This is going to be really sick. Like I said, on Thursday and Sunday this week too, if you're just doing masters, you're just going to have so many grenades going over and over and over and over again. Really, the rest of this build isn't that critical, but I've got Bountiful Wells on, and I've got Elemental Ordnance and Melee Wellmaker on to be able to just make some bonus wells. Nothing insane here, but 100 resilience, like I mentioned before. As far as the aspects and fragments, I've just got Lethal Current and Flow State. There's not, I mean, you could put Tempest Strike, but it really doesn't matter either way. I'd probably keep Lethal Current for sure, though. And then the 4 fragments, we're using Spark of Ions so that we get an Ionic Trace when we defeat jolted targets. We're also going to be using Spark of Shock so that our grenades jolt, and then we're going to be defeating those targets. Then we've got Spark of Resistance for extra damage resistance while surrounded, of course. Nothing wrong with that. And then Spark of Discharge, Arc Weapon, Final Blows have a chance to create Ionic Trace. That's just more Ionic Trace stuff. If you wanted here, you could do the same thing that I do in my Titan build, where you use Spark of Magnitude, I believe it is, where defeating jolted targets creates an orb of light or something like that. We'll get to that next. So if you're Titan... Oh, sorry, Warlocks, just skipped right over you. If you're Titan, really the only thing you should be using in literally every single thing is a Storm Grenade build with Heart of Inmost Light. If you're not using a Storm Grenade build with Heart of Inmost Light, you are missing out on literally, possibly, the strongest PvE stuff Destiny has to offer. It's actually insane. What have we got here? Yeah, Spark of Magnitude. Oh, Spark of Magnitude is Lingering Grenades. Okay, never mind. That's the wrong one. And we've got Ions for the Ionic Trace, Spark of Shock for the jolting targets, and Spark of Amplitude. I knew it was one of those tudes. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an orb of power. So yeah, you could do that over on the Hunter build if you want. In here, I'm using Thunderclap and Thruster because they're faster abilities to keep the loop of Heart of Inmost Light going so that I can keep throwing more grenades. This is the plan. We've also got Harmonic Siphon on Siphon. We've got Harmonic Siphon on all of the builds that I'm using here because we're making Orbs of Light and we're taking advantage of that. In here we've got Bolt String Detonation on the gloves for just looping the abilities even more. Ashes to Assets on the helmet so that the grenades generate super energy. We got Bomber on the class item for charging up the grenade even more on using the class ability. And we've got Bountiful Wells, and we've got triple Elemental Ordnance on here. It's going to be great. I've also got the Thunderous Retort so that we can have bonus super damage while we're critically wounded if you want to do that too. None of this is super critical. The main thing is if you put Bountiful Wells and you put a bunch of Elemental Ordnance mods and you put Heart of Inmost Light on, and you have 100 resilience, you're going to be good. Get your grenade up as high as you can. You're going to be good. You're going to slay out with this build. All right. Now, for Warlocks, probably what I'll be using the whole time, and I'd have to configure something else out if I really feel like using an arc build or anything. But I will be most likely using my Osmiomancy Turret Factory Omega 1000, okay? The 1000 isn't here in the name right now, but I needed a little bit more ridiculousness in the name because of how ridiculous this build is. You're literally making stasis turrets constantly, all the time, and the reason you're doing this is you're using either 3 or 4 firepower mods. You could use a Swift Charge in combination with Quick Charge so that you can get charged with light off of pulse rifles, but I'm counting on getting charged with light off of my fusion rifle, the Deliverance, that has Chill Clip and Demolitionist. Demolitionist also giving 22% of my grenade energy back. That's because this is also enhanced. And Harmonic Siphon, because it's matching my subclass, I'm going to be getting Orbs of Light. those orbs of light. I've got innervation on my boots to get grenade energy there as well. We've got bomber on the class item getting grenade energy. And all I got to do is get a double kill with my fusion rifle. And then I get, 60% of my grenade back just with firepower. It's going to be insane. Now, the thing is, this will work no matter what, because fortunately this season, none of these GMs have all 3 champions. Anti-barrier is in all of them, and then it's either overload or unstoppable for the rest. And so you're going to be able to configure your loadout to do this, and also keep deliverance in here if you want. You really don't have to be as hardcore as I am here. You can seriously not worry about any of these mods and use whatever weapons you want and still just use the fragment and aspect setup I've got here. I'm using ice flare bolts and bleak watcher. You could also do a build where instead of ice flare bolts, you use the glacial harvest, and then you just have to use one of the fragments that makes it so when you freeze them, or no, glacial harvest will do that. You just have to gather the little crystals that show up, and then you'll have to have one stasis armor piece on, and you're gonna have to have elemental shards on. I'll show you that really quick. Actually, I should just pull it up right here on the Warlock. So if you got a stasis armor piece right here, elemental shards, stasis shards count as elemental wells for you. Boom, you do that, and then in a different armor piece, you put elemental charge so that you become charged with light by picking up a elemental well, and then 3 firepower mods, and you'll be good there. And then it doesn't matter what you're using, just as long as you freeze some things and then walk over, get your crystals, you'll get charged, and you're good there. It doesn't have to be that hardcore. The deliverance is just extra hardcore because you're also getting 22% on each kill too. So on the double kill, that's 44%. Then I throw the grenade, 60%. So I basically earned a grenade by shooting this twice and throwing a grenade. So this is just it's a little bit more nuanced. You gotta practice it and get used to it in order to be able to do this build. That's as hardcore, but you can do it with it's glacial harvest, right? Yeah, glacial harvest instead of ice flare bolts. Sheesh. That's a little bit of a run on those GM builds. And you know what? I think that's gonna be it for tonight. The rest of the things that I've got to say that we want to talk about, they're more discussion pieces, and I need another person here to be bouncing that conversation off. So hopefully we get that in tomorrow. Last thing I want to say is your priorities to spend your time in Destiny 2 this week are Nightfalls. Doesn't matter what difficulty. GM, if you're confident and you got a team and you've got a build you feel like you can carry, you can LFG if you really want. But honestly, if your GM runs, and this, because it's DFA this week, and this is the thing that I didn't really mention yet, and we'll talk about this really quick. DFA is the Nightfall weapon this week, and it's really okay. It's really just okay. You can put, really, in my opinion, the best thing on this is Outlaw Rampage. If you want to get a little bit of some nostalgia, pretend like this is Midnight Coup from year 1 of Destiny 2. Rampage Outlaw is about as good as this gun can feel. It's got pretty low stats. It just doesn't feel very good. You could do timed payload, I guess, if you want. Really, nothing else is insane here. I've even tried out in the Crucible an opening shot, fragile focus, max range build, and it was like okay, but I really had to mod out the rest of it, and I'm pretty sure I had to use Ophidians on Warlock as well to just make the reload and handling okay. And you probably honestly have a good 140 hand cannon already, so I really wouldn't worry about it. And don't forget that adept weapons, they're truly basically cosmetic. Sure, you can put some adept mods on them and that can give you a little bit of some stats here or there, but the most part, you're not going to feel it. And if you are busting your butt trying to earn a weapon that literally just says adept at the end, instead of the normal version that doesn't say adept that you could just get plentiful of anyways, I feel like you're wasting your time, and you might have more fun doing a master Nightfall instead, okay? Especially Thursday, especially Sunday. Please make sure you're playing them on Thursday and Sunday in master so that you're getting those Nightfalls done in less than 10 minutes, probably even Glassway. It might be possible, okay? But you'll be having a chill, relaxed time, and it's gonna be fun. So do that. Don't forget, if you're looking for some deep sight seasonal weapons, LFG for Master Catch Crash if you have to. No comms, just go in there with some mods. You'll be Master Catch Crash, get 3 extra wards. You might get a deep sight, and don't forget to at least weekly do 1 Legendaries of Eternity on your characters if you care about getting some deep sight, nostalgic Dares of Eternity weapons like the BXR Battler, the Wastelander, Pardon Our Dust, etc. That's it. We did it, okay? We'll have some conversations tomorrow. Bobby, am I planning on doing these live to turn into content for the channel? I am. Exactly, yes. That is the whole plan. Bobby, spoiler alert. Here we go. This is the plan. We've got I'm gonna plan. I bookmarked a bunch of things. I'm gonna have some stuff bookmarked from their weekly updates and their anything that the devs say on Twitter. I'm gonna have an update on loot to chase each week, perk deep dives, kind of like I basically just did right here with the DFA. Build refinements. Hopefully I get to do some of these with a partner. So I've got somebody who's like, hey, let's go through and build something, and then I'll go through and I'll use D2 Armor Picker with them, or I'll watch their screen, share their screen, and we'll go through, we'll make a build together. This week, I did GM builds because GMs came out. FOMO, fear of missing out, up-to-date information to prevent people from missing out on things like the Gunsmith, Sir. For example, this week, the deep sight change in the star chart that I mentioned earlier, the Nightfall weapons, and then here at the end, I kind of mentioned the priorities of the best way to spend your time this week in Destiny 2. And then this is more conversation topics for tomorrow. I also plan on having a PvE highlight and a PvP highlight, like a little clip or a video ready. Hopefully all of this will have some super sick production recently or soon too. And it won't, I'm super sick. I mean, just smooth. It's not going to be like, crazy stuff, but just having the stream deck and everything synced up to special scenes. So I can just like hit a button, boom, it plays the clip. Boom, hit the button, clips over, we're back where we gotta go. When I need to go hit the other clip, boom, button, pops open the scene with the clip, plays the clip. And so it should be pretty smooth. Should be pretty sick. And then I'll have some discussion topics each week too, so that we'll go over some stuff. Definitely, yes, live viewer Q&A and everything too. That would be the plan too at the end. Once we get through whatever we've got going on, whatever I've got planned, definitely leaving time at the end for sure for questions or discussions. Basically, literally like what's happening right now. Us hanging, chilling. I literally just went over to push my Stream Decks button, but for some reason we gotta fix some issue in OBS of whatever's causing it to not work with Stream Deck currently. But that's it. I'm gonna be done now. I appreciate you so much, Bobby, coming and hanging out. I appreciate you, Famed Emperor. Anybody else who stopped by, I appreciate you all. I am going to I'm gonna play a little bit of some Destiny with my wife now. And then we'll see. Have some water. Okay. Yes, exactly. Shorts and TikTok. See, that's the whole plan. Little Firefly, so nice to see you. Oh, sick. That's the plan too. Yeah, the whole reason. See, this is, man, I've been trying to figure out, because making content is such a task, and it's not even a single task, it's many tasks. And I really wanted to, I was like, with my time and my capabilities, I need to figure out a pipeline, because I can't pay people $20,000 a month to do all of the things for me. I have to do what I can. And so I can barely pay somebody like $60 once here or there to make a sick video for me, you know? So I listened to some things, took some advice, figured out how I could do it. It literally kind of just clicked a little bit. I think Monday morning, I was laying in bed and I was going over the thoughts again, being like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And it kind of just clicked together. Cause like I was like, what do we do? How do I do podcast things? What is it going to be about? How do I create interesting stuff that matters that I can break down into like 30-second, 45-second clips for shorts and stuff as well? And I think we've got the beginnings of that here today. So, gaming creators don't actually game. It's true. The ones that are actually going somewhere. That's like not a joke, actually. And it's really hard because I love Destiny so much. It's a really fun game. It's so good. I love playing it. I love playing it with my friends. I love playing it with my wife. It's such a good game. And it's so easy to spend tons of time in it. And then there's just the other games that I also just, like, literally, like, 2 or 3 times a month, I open up the Master Chief Collection and I play literally one match. I plug in my controller and I play one match and I go, that was good. And then I have to be done. Cause I don't, the time, I just don't have the time. So meanwhile, everybody else is out there gaming. And, it's okay though. This pipeline should get smooth and still allow me to game basically as much as I want. I think it'll be worth it. I hope it will as well. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, appreciate you. See you all tomorrow. Part 2 tomorrow. Discussion tomorrow. You hate old Halo games? Don't feel good to play when only really good players are playing them. A thing about that, Little Firefly, if you're playing it on PC, if you play the old Halo games on PC, you got to use a controller. Makes a difference. Huge difference. Like Halo 4 is okay, mouse and keyboard, but really, you need even Halo Infinite kind of sucks on mouse and keyboard, okay? So that might be the trick. If you're playing Halo on mouse and keyboard, that might be part of why you're having a bad time. But anyways, I'm gonna say bye for literally the 4th time. I appreciate you all. You're so good. Talk to you guys later.